a lot of different adverts, and South Africa has some of the best adverts in the world. And
Certainly.
and now it's time for Absa's turn. Tell us a little bit about this advert.
Okay. So I think the starting point is for us to note that it's not really about an advert in the traditional sense. We're bringing our new communication in a slightly different way. And obviously it represents our new purpose and our new way of doing things, because this is a digitally led approach that we've taken, obviously complemented by traditional media, which is typically like your TV, your radio and print. But obviously we've come up with some new twists as well to it. But the important thing is that this is a series of conversations with obviously our community, with our colleagues, and obviously the customers on the continent that we serve. And we've taken inspiration from them. So that's what it is. It's not so much about an ad, but more of the approach in terms of how we want to do it.
No, awesome. And Africa's very diverse, so there's all different types of audiences, and you address it in the commercial, which is fantastic. Tell us how Absa is delivering the brand to customers, colleagues, and the market at large.
Okay. So, like I said, this is a series of conversations, and we basically have a platform. You talked about Africanacity, and that's basically the platform that we want to deliver this series of communication on. In building the brand, obviously, we've had to learn from the continent that we serve. We've taken inspiration from our people. We've heard from our colleagues, we've heard from our customers in terms of how we deliver the brand and how we speak. And that's really the inspiration that we've taken. So we're starting obviously around social and digital. We have quite a number of pieces of communication going out, and a lot of conversation as well. It's a discussion on Africa and celebrating Africa. Africanacity really by definition is that distinctly African way of getting things done. The people of this continent are tenacious, they're audacious, they are creative, and that is the juice that we're picking from, and that's what we want to do with this. And that's what we're really talking to. Everybody, you find people have a formal job, but they've got a side hustle because they want to make something happen. Everybody has a dream. They want to be known for something. And that's what we want to recognize as a bank and be able to deliver that. So whether they are our colleagues that we work with within the bank or they are customers, that's really what we want to talk back to.
Because this commercial and this advert and these conversations that we're seeing out in the public are nothing like we've seen before, what really went into the communication strategy and especially the choices of media?
Sure. So we had to look at basically, we took some learning from some of best practice globally within our category. Obviously, we're a financial services group. We took some learning from some of our competitors from the market, within the category, like I said, and outside the category, and see what is best practice, how do we deliver this. But more importantly, we had to look at the customer that we serve. What is their lifestyle? What does a day start like? When you wake up in the morning, you probably will check your social media feed. You get into a car or you get into a bus. You're in transit media. You listen to the radio. You probably see out of home. You're back in the office. You're probably on social media again at some point in the day. So we took the day in the life of a customer and see how do we interact with, how do we speak to them, how do we talk to them, how do we engage them. That's really the thinking that we took into account when we came up with our campaign.
Let's get into this word, Africanacity. How am I pronouncing that? Am I doing that okay?
I think you're just right there.
Well, it's a new word. I mean, no one's ever heard it. It's an original. We talk about Googling things and
greater insights or inspiration than the African people who are creative. The world actually learns a lot from Africa, but Africa's never really been recognized for what it does and the character and what it depicts. So we decided to come up with a word that stands for that distinct way to get things done. And that's what really Africanacity is about. It's about getting things done, whatever it takes.
I'm just going to give you this mic, Humphrey, so we can carry on.
Yeah.
But now, tell me, that's Africanacity, which is, as I understand it, more of an umbrella theme, and that speaks to a broad sense of empowerment on the continent. But tell me, what is the one thing that you want your audience to take away from the new Absa?
I think one thing that we want people to take away, firstly, is that people are at the center of everything that we do. Secondly, we obviously want to be the bank that Africa will be proud of. And we have taken what Africa stands for, the great things that Africa stands for, and we want to celebrate Africa with the rest of the African continent. So our everyday engagement is about how do we lift fellow Africans, how do we grow with them, and how do we celebrate being an African. That's essentially what we want everybody to know. And at the end of the day, that we get things done.
That is absolutely beautiful. And it's not lip service. What I've seen in the advert and what I've seen in South Africa and in Kenya and around this beautiful continent is that go-get-em attitude, that entrepreneurial spirit, and putting people at the center. Humphrey, I'm with you. I want to be in the center. I want to be in the center with you, and I want to continue to be part.
Let's get it done.
Come on, let's do this.
Started.
Humphrey,
cool.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much. It's an absolute pleasure and all the best.
Awesome. Thank you for
Let's
having
keep
me.
winning.
Let's win.
I love it. I love it. You've now seen the new brand and hopefully have a better understanding of how it came about and what it now stands for. It's #brave, passionate, ready. Why don't we have a look at the commercial again? Let's have a look at it and let's get to understand this Africanacity.
Gisagala-Nistromanis.
私たちをつなぐ。
This continent finds a way to get things done. That's Africanacity. That's Absa.
If you're just joining us, this is a very special live broadcast, and it's coming to you from Absa Towers West in the heart of downtown Johannesburg. This has been a day like no other, and it's about to get totally lit. And when I say lit, I mean it very literally. What is happening tonight is an African first, #Absa drone show. To mark this momentous occasion, Absa is very proud to bring you the Intel Drone Light Show. Get ready as 300 shooting start drones are preparing for liftoff. It's a perfect evening here in Johannesburg. The weather could not be more ideal for this event. It's crisp, it's cool, light wind conditions, currently 10 degrees. We have clear skies, and I'm getting word from the launch site that we are good to go. Less than 30 minutes till takeoff. Tina Fenter is the head of events at Absa, and she's been very involved in the preparations for this spectacle we are about to witness. Tina, welcome.
Yes, thank you.
I'm excited about this journey, and I'm excited about this culmination of the journey. I know that this has been a fantastic experience. It's been hard work. It's been a lot of sleepless nights. But tell me, why did you decide to mark the launch of the brand in this way?
Look, this is the kind of brief that dreams are made of. So the only requirement was make it epic. And I think that's the kind of thing that you need with this new Absa. It's like there is just no limits. And how do you bring your possibilities to life? And this was one of the ways that my team and I, of 16 solid, strong, unique individuals with their respective strengths, said, how do you take this to the next level? So yeah, we knew that it had to be something completely and utterly different, never to be seen before. And what a wonderful opportunity to be given this.
And how does this epic moment, how does it link to the brand launch?
Look, it is a simple one. If you just look at these Intel drones and the tech that is associated with it, you know, it takes entertainment, edutainment to the next level. Like, we knew that Absa needed something that's going to light up the sky and this beautiful Josie sky. And what better way to do it with drones? Because if you're going to talk there and say that you're going to be a digitally led bank, you had better put your drones where your mouth is.
And tell me, Tina, we chatted about it as I introduced you about the challenges and how tough it is. But really, what does it take to put on an event like this?
Look, it's been a tough journey, but and I always say that if you're truly passionate about what you do, I mean, these kind of things is actually it's a good thing. And I would say that it's passion, it's grit, it's stamina, and you require a definite poker face. And I've been invited to a few poker games, so I'm going to ace this. Yeah.
I'm sure you have an idea of what it looks like, and you've gone through some rehearsals, and perhaps maybe you've just seen storyboards. I have no idea, because I'm looking forward to being surprised. But tell us, what does it look like? Can you give us a taste?
You know, it's one of those things that words fail you when you look at this, and it's a truly humbling experience. And I once went to the planetarium recently, and all this guy kept on saying was, just look up, you know, and be amazed, because it's going to be a spectacular like you have never seen before. That's going to say, hello Africa, hello Absa. So watch the space.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Tina, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I've been enamored. I have been overjoyed. I have been overwhelmed by the lead up to this this exciting time in this wonderful journey. I had no idea what to expect, and I like living life like that on the edge. I think you know me by now. I love that excitement, and you and your team have brought such an exciting space into my life and into the lives of so many in this community and communities across the continent. So thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you, and thank you. Enjoy.
I'm looking forward to it. All the best.
Thank you.
It's getting closer and closer to the liftoff. I would love to hear from someone who has been closely involved from a technical point of view from the very beginning. We are joined by Yatish Narsi from Grid Worldwide. Yatish, I'm so excited, brother.
Likewise. Look, we're very nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. Very nervous, but definitely very excited.
Yeah, nerves is good, man.
Nerves
I mean,
are great.
if it's butterflies in your stomach, I know what that feels like. But you got wings. If you got a butterfly, you got wings,
100%.
So take us back to the beginning. You have been involved with the whole rebranding process. So not just the smoke and the mirrors and the lights, as they call it, right? You've been involved in the strategic process. So tell us, did this idea link? How did this idea link to the brand launch exactly?
Well, I think, you know, most of the sort of chatter through the day has all been around the sort of digital first, et cetera, et cetera. But I think for us, sort of creatively, what we were looking for was an opportunity to create some sort of iconic moments today that people would remember, hopefully for time to come. And also, I think, you know, today is not Absa going out and saying, well, here's the complete. It's the beginning, right? So I think we were looking for something that would mark the start of this journey in a very, very special way and in a very unique way, and something that hasn't been done before. And, you know, if I think about the sort of power of beautiful imagery, the power of iconic imagery, in fact, I'm reminded, I think it was the Apollo 8 mission, they took an image which they called Earthrise, which is basically the sort of lunar surface in the foreground and the background, the sort of beautiful shot of our planet. And many kind of credit the sort of ecological movements, the sort of conservation movements to that very image, because we suddenly saw ourselves as this kind of fragile and beautiful planet. And I think for us, through the rehearsals, and I know, you know, some people have been up late shooting those as well, but I can assure you we've had a vantage point like none other.
Wow.
And some of the imagery coming out of there, I think, is going to give people a view of Africa that they have never seen before. I think you look at Johannesburg in this way, and it's spectacular. And I think we'll create imagery tonight, and we'll treat the world and ourselves to a view of our continent that we've never seen before.
I cannot wait, my friend. Yatish, this is going to be amazing. But let's get into it a bit. Tell us, how do you actually launch 300 drones?
Well, you know, there's again the sort of Africanacity narrative has been strong through the day, and I can tell you we employed every bit of what it meant to get this done. In fact, and some of it I can't talk to, but some of it I can. If you look at the criteria that Intel would like to launch, no sort of crowded areas, very safe and secure, good sort of reception. downtown Johannesburg would probably not be the very first launch site that would come up. So,
Sure.
we've had to have audacity, we've had to have
Yes.
tenacity, we've had to have ingenuity. I think to pull this off, we'd had to draw on everything that word has meant. And so it's really, really special, I think, for this to be, going ahead. It really is symbolically and visually and in every other way, everything that Africanacity and everything that the new Absa is about.
Awesome. Well, Yatish, we have a clip that actually shows us some of what went into choosing the launch site. Let's have a look.
Perfect.
Wow, that's amazing. Now that's the whole concept around choosing a site. So you got to choose a site, but now there's more to it. You have to actually figure out how to create a specific airfield, right?
Absolutely. So there are numerous things that go into this. I think just looking at it to think about, the whole show lasts about 8 minutes, but you're talking about 4 odd minutes up in the sky. And the amount of work that's gone into, I think, crafting a 4-minute experience for everybody, I can't tell you what the last few months and weeks have been like. But yeah, choosing a site is the first big step, and there's so many pieces of criteria to hit. I mean, ultimately, I think what we're trying to do, like I said, is craft a beautiful moment for people, create some iconic imagery, and really celebrate the launch in a sort of magical and sort of first and highly innovative way. But you've got to appease a lot of technicalities. Again, a lot of it I can't sort of talk to for obvious reasons.
Sure.
But everything from what they need from a reception point of view, what's required in terms of the launch criteria and specifics. I mean, there's a field of literally over 300 drones sitting there waiting to launch. I mean, we are minutes away.
I'm checking my watch here, Yatish.
100%. We're just minutes away from that happening.
Yeah.
And again, so much goes into this. So much needs to be done right. We've had an amazing team on the ground. There's a lady I absolutely have to thank, Audrey from our team, who's been phenomenal all the way through the process and really trying to, do things that have never been done.
Well done, Audrey. Well done.
And what an amazing crew that I think have pulled this together. So they've had to build an airfield, and I think we've got a clip of that coming up soon as well. They've had to build an airfield in literally a day in order for us to pull this off. So well done to
no
everyone.
small feat and
No
a
small
very
feat.
difficult thing. But for a very epic occasion, you've got to be epic even with your people. And again, hats off to Audrey, but you've got more people, and I think we might get to see them in this next clip. So here's some behind-the-scenes footage of the airfield being created. So that's behind the scenes stuff, Yatish, and I'm learning as I go here, so you got to help me, all right? So what I understand is that it's a synchronized performance. Tell me a little bit about how that worked. What's involved?
So essentially what you've got is 300 drones flying in, again, complete sort of harmony to create this. It's really more of a sort of aerial ballet and a piece of art, quite frankly. I don't think it's really about it. I think all great technology is about that, right? All great technology is about being human at its core and really delivering sort of magic for people ultimately. And that's exactly what this is. So technically highly sophisticated, and synchronized to such a point actually that we even composed the score specifically for tonight. So
there's an original score that we're going to hear tonight.
There's an original soundtrack that we've done tonight.
Gosh.
The guys have done an amazing job. I mean, we had goosebumps listening to it for the first time, and it's been created by the same team. So again, to your point, we've been part of the brand journey all the way through, and naturally part of that meant designing the soundscape for the new brand, and a lot of subtle clues in there from the new audio journey for the brand into the soundtrack tonight, which you may pick up or may not. But I think tomorrow you're going to be sort of humming some stuff, which hopefully we've added some sort of earworms in there that really get in, and you really sort of feel it the next day. But again, because it's so well choreographed, because it's so synchronized, we could curate and craft an experience for 4.5 minutes that is absolutely to the T. So many rehearsals go in to get this right. Again, some of those rehearsals have obviously made their way online. I can assure you haven't seen anything yet, just looking at those 1 or 2 images. But absolutely, time to the core. Sort of listening to the guys count down, you'd think we were sort of launching a rocket, right? It's so synchronized. There's a T minus, there's stuff at 5 minutes, at 2 minutes, at 3 minutes, at 1 minute. We have to get air clearance, we have to close roads, we have to all of this in our countdown sequence, and then we go.
No, that's awesome. You and David and Tina, you've been talking about the lead up. You've been talking about how important the people are. And you come from a wonderful agency, which I know very well, Grid Worldwide, and also Intel, also being a global company, if you will, not worldwide in their name, but we know they're global. How many South Africans, local South Africans as well as Africans on the continent, have been involved in the project?
Well, many. So, all the way from, I think, what most people don't understand, tonight you're going to see imagery shot by, drones, obviously. So there are drones shooting drones as well, in order for us to sort of create the sort of iconic imagery. All of that, some of the best pilots in our country, really some of the best pilots. So the imagery that's going to be created is, it's kind of African and South African at its core. So, and I think, I was at the airport this morning, and kind of wonderful billboard, that, we're African with a global perspective. And for us, the show does absolutely all of that, right? We've got the best of both. We've got the best talent in South Africa, the best talent in Africa, mixed with the best talent around the world. And I think if we're going to be that bank that Africa's proud of, we're going to be a bank that also pitches up at a global level and can sort of provide this global perspective. It is about mixing the best of what we have with the best of what's out there. And tonight is no better, I think, illustration of that.
Well, Yatish, I couldn't agree with you more. Africa as a continent is a melting pot of nothing but genius and amazing creativity. We just don't celebrate it enough. So tonight, I think we're going to get to do that. But first, just have a look with me around this music composition process, because you chatted about it. Original music score. I want to see what went into this.
Perfect.
Let's have a look. This is intense. I mean, the work behind this, the work that's imminently going to happen, the launch, this T minus. I'm getting excited, Yatish. I'm getting fired up.
Nice. You should be.
So just a few minutes ago, you mentioned about the countdown and what have you. How are you feeling at this moment?
Look, we've put in a tremendous amount of work. We've been at rehearsals till 3 a.m, for the past couple of nights. So I think everyone's tired, everyone's nervous, everyone's excited. The reality is, though, we're still dealing with 300 drones flying above a city trying to perform an aerial ballet. So
At night.
So we're not out of the woods. I mean, the weather's holding up. A beautiful night. A beautiful night. The cold front came in last week, and we were all holding thumbs
And fingers and toes
and everything. And it's all worked out. It's all worked out. But the reality is, again, we are dealing with a live event here, guys.
Sure.
The team's on the ground, everyone's fired up, everyone's ready to go, and we're just kind of hoping it all goes well. And
Absolutely, and it will, Yatish. Let's take a look at what happens at the launch site just moments before the launch. So, Yatish, I don't know if you want to look at your watch, but I can tell you we are 12 minutes away. 12 minutes away. And I'm not going to keep you here because I know you've got to be in the moment and you have to do some of the orchestrating along with your team. But my friend, it's kind of the same question, but how are you feeling? I mean, what's going on in your mind right now with less than 12 minutes to go?
Again, I think the hard work's been done. The hard work has been done. As you can see from that, there are rigorous pre-launch sort of sequences and checks and balances and activities, and we're dealing with, I think, some of the best people on the continent and in the world down there. So I'm quietly very confident that we have the right people in the right place, hitting the right buttons at the right time for all of you to have the absolute best experience. So.
And there's contingency plans. There's obviously a contingency plan around weather. There's contingency plan around all different types of things. What for you is the biggest challenge with now almost 10 minutes to go?
Again, to the point that the sort of really, really important challenges have been kind of dealt with. I think prior to this, weather's a big one, and I think you might have seen it in that behind the scenes footage. There's a mini weather station that we've also had to set up there to monitor this at a daily, hourly, so on and so forth basis. It is, again, an aerial show, and we have, kind of air traffic on standby. And so, provided we don't have any other planes flying through or any other emergencies, these things happen, right?
Sure,
I mean, again, we're dealing with literally launching an aerial ballet. So hopefully nothing goes wrong, but to the point earlier, hard work's been put in. And everything's in place, and now we just sit back and hopefully enjoy a phenomenal show.
What I didn't ask you, which is I'm very curious about, is how high do the drones fly?
So we were clearance to fly up to 1,000 feet,
Okay.
and we're South African, so that means 300 meters. We've lowered the show a little bit to about 250, just to, again, for the view to be just right. So,
Sure.
I mean, again, we've tested this thing so much and just made sure from a curation point of view, we're sort of bang on. So about 250 meters is what we'll see tonight, which is one of the sort of highest points you'll see in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
And again, you'll see the footage is just glorious. Yeah.
And the speed at which the drones fly?
So the drones sort of fly up, they perform the sort of show, and then they come straight down. So they don't actually move across.
Okay.
Which is what sort of keeps it really safe and keeps
Sure.
it kind of within regulation.
And can we expect, drones flying between buildings? I don't want to give away too much here, Yatish, but is there going to be some movement between buildings? I'm kind of thinking superhero drones here now.
No, there's some movements by the entire swarm. So the swarm of 300. That's all I'm going to say. Just wait. Just wait. We're minutes away. What are we now? 7 minutes. You can wait. You can wait.
7-8 minutes. So, with that, Yatish, I'm going to let you go, my brother.
Fantastic.
I'm going to let you
so
go.
Much.
I know you need to take your technical positions and make it happen. Look, we are moments away from a first for Africa. 300 shooting star drones about to take to the skies above Johannesburg City. just a reminder that today is all about the birth of a new and very exciting Absa. I've just learned that we've got our team manager, Maria Ramos, on the floor. Hello, Maria, are you there?
We're expecting a phenomenal show, very much in line with our brand aspiration to be digitally enabled. This is the first time on the African continent that there will be a drone show like this. So we are very excited, and hopefully we'll be able to show colleagues, customers, clients, everyone around the African continent that we can have something like this on the African soil, and this is emblematic of the new Absa, and I hope everybody's going to enjoy it. I'm certainly very excited, to go and see what the show has. I haven't seen it, so this is the first time I'm going to see it. I'm really, really counting down now to the start of the show. Well, today was a phenomenal day. It's the culmination of 2 years worth of work, and particularly the last 18 months. We have gone on an unbelievable journey of setting about to develop a new strategy which is driven by growth post the sell down by Barclays PLC, who was our majority shareholder. It's been a journey of discovery of growth. It's been a journey of engagement with thousands and thousands of colleagues, and it's been a journey that sets Absa on a new path, a path that, as colleagues have determined, is about us being Absa Africa United, proudly African, brave, passionate, and ready. That's been the war cry in our business. We want to win, we're here to win, we're here to be proudly African, to show the world that Africa can do great things, and as a financial institution across this continent, we are ready to do those great things as Africans and in the world. Thank you. And I hope the drone show is going to show us that.
That's wonderful hearing from our team manager, also the CEO of Absa, and talking about Absa Africa United and a wonderful opportunity for the live drone show, which is only 5 minutes away. But before we go to that drone show, let's have a look at some highlights of the journey and of the excitement today. There it is. I don't get tired of watching these highlights. I mean, it's absolutely amazing to see the fanfare, to see the excitement. I mean, it's just happening before our eyes, and it's live. That's, I guess, the most exciting part. And so there's more to see. And there's so many people that have been gathering. I mean, even trying to get in to the CBD this afternoon was just absolutely hectic. Look at here now. We have got people coming in droves, and I can see them drinking coffee, which is a good start. I don't know what else is in that coffee, but it's so fantastic to see people out in the great outdoors in the middle of winter, but dressed in their beautiful spectrum of colors. And there's nothing more beautiful than an African sky, and that is Johannesburg at night. What a beautiful, beautiful view. And that is our canvas for this evening as we go into Absa Day. So it's absolutely beautiful to watch and very exciting to see what's going to happen in just 2 minutes. 2 minutes away from this lovely live drone show here in Johannesburg, South Africa, representing the continent for the Absa launch here on the 11th of July 2018. Just very, very excited. That's where I am. I'm here atop the towers. You can see the new logo, the new brand identity in all its splendor, lighting up the sky from the towers. Absolutely just gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, and people just waiting with such anticipation, with so much that has led up to this particular brand launch. I mean, with so many employee programs and suppliers involved and clients involved, there's been so much happening, and here it is, 1 minute away. 1 minute away from the culmination of the Absa Day. This is Absa Day and the Absa launch. We are down to seconds, guys, as we prepare for this beautiful live drone show. I know that Yatish must be just at the ready, poised and ready to go. I'm ready. I'm excited. I haven't seen anything yet, and so I'm excited to see what's going to happen in just 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. You can anticipate an African first from Intel and the guys from Grid Worldwide, and certainly this amazing brand we call Absa. And Absa Africa United is ready to light up the sky. There's no doubt about that. The skyline is doing what it does best, just looking absolutely beautiful. And I think the skyline itself is waiting in anticipation to say, what are you going to paint on our canvas tonight in celebration of Absa and this amazing drone show? Make sure if you're on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook to use the hashtag Absa Drone Show. And tell your friends around the world that Africa is where it's happening, coming to you live from Johannesburg, South Africa. We're seconds away from this amazing, amazing feat that we have anticipated and prepared for. There we have all of our folks gathering in their spectrum of red. There's David Winfield. I see you, David. And he's ready. He's excited, the head of marketing, and knew that this was going to be an amazing feat. And this is, again, the culmination of what is the Absa launch today on the 11th of July. And lots of people, cheering and ready to go. And the chairman is there. Oh, Wendy Lucas Bull is the chairman of Absa. She's there as well. And all of her Absa regalia. Fantastic. So we've started ignition sequence, apparently. Yeah. What will happen is that they're starting the drones up, and we heard from Yatish that this is now the countdown, and we're in the ignition phase of the drones ready to send off. And This is the Intel drone light show. They're going to 300 drones that are being started up right now as we speak, and it looks like we're starting to see the drones rising. If I'm not mistaken, not yet. They're still in ignition. So the drones are still on the ground, in ignition and ready to go. Man, I feel like I'm in Houston. I mean, this feels like it's a NASA takeoff. So we've got. They're just going to light up the sky, and apparently we're going to see all different types of graphics and different colors. I'm sure there's going to be lots of colors that represent the new spectrum of colors from Absa, which range in an array of colors. Obviously, red being the dominant color, but there'll be all types of colors in the sky. So it sounds like we've got 1 minute. It sounds like we got 1 minute to go. This is a process. I mean, to be epic, you really have to have an epic process. And to lead up to this, obviously Yatish and his team and Intel and Grid Worldwide have had to take the time to get everything right. The contingency plans are in place, and everyone is standing by for this epic location. There's Maria Ramos, very, very excited, the CEO of Absa. Very excited for the opportunity at JSC this morning, and didn't ring the bell. She blew the kudu horn because that's what we do in Africa. This is an African brand. So it looks like they're all coming to one place and to one location to do the viewing. And from my vantage point, I think I'll have a good view here as well on top of the towers. But the towers here in the center of Johannesburg, everybody's going. It looks like we've got some visuals coming now. So we're beyond ignition now. The drone should be lifting. Less than a minute to go. We got the music. So there's music. I can hear music playing. Now we're seeing, for the first time, we're seeing specks of light in the sky. So they're beginning to rise into the sky. Now, for the viewers watching, we have some of the best drone pilots covering this for you. So, wow. It's like the dots. Now you can see from the bottom, right from the bottom, from the ground floor right up into the sky. Wow. We can see Maria Ramos and the team there already beginning to clap and to see that this is the start of something absolutely amazing. So again, for the viewers watching, we have some of the best drone pilots covering this for you. The actual performance is also being shot by drones to bring you the best possible angles. Wow, so we've got drones that are lighting up the sky, drones that are shooting it. And like Yatish said, I mean, it's technologically sound, but it's also the human element and the synchronicity that's very important. Right now we're at 250 meters. Our drones are at 250 meters and finding their formation in the sky. Wow, it looks like they can be choreographed to do anything. Looks like they're ready and preparing. 300 drone ready to light up the African sky. It's magnificent. So each light now is seemingly going off now. So they're still in the sky, but we can't see them off. So now this looks like this just might be the moment. Bit of suspense here. There it is. There it is. You can see the Absa gestures there with hello. Look at the different perspectives, and we can see the Absa teammates there. David giving a big applause. Oh wow, Africa. Hello, Africa. That is epic. The gestures all lined up beautifully. Look at the precision Now it's morphing into something else. This is goosebump material. Absolutely stunning. A first for Africa. And a first for me. Wow, this is, I'm in awe. The music. Oh, now we can see the continent. Wow. So the drones have now created the continent, and it looks like they're individually lighting up and then going off and now morphing now into something else. It looks like, yes, it's becoming the Absa logo. Let's just observe for a moment. Let's take it all in. There is the iconic image above Johannesburg. It's rotating in 360 degrees, so everyone has the best seat in the house. Magnificence. One continent, one Absa Bank. Wow. Look at the way it just stays together, floating in space. Remember, if you're just tuning in, these are drones that you are seeing flying above the Johannesburg skies. And wow, this is forming the new logo, the new identity, the new energy, the new vibe. Oh. And again, we can see our Absa colleagues, the group CEO there, just taking it all in. And like Yati said, the music also just adds to the sensory experience that we're having here during this beautiful Johannesburg night. As we said, 10 degrees outside, but I believe this show is just keeping us all very warm and very fuzzy and just enjoying how beautiful this is. Now we get to see some color coming in to the logo. Remember, the Absa colors are not just red, so there's a whole spectrum of colors that represent the Absa identity. And now we can see that happening as the drones continue to illuminate the sky, and not just in white, but with a myriad of color in the red spectrum. It's just beautiful. What a sight. Now we're seeing it's a change here. Oh my goodness, there's a gesture. It looks like that might be a wink there. Yes, it is. So we see a smile and a wink. Wow, that's stunning. Oh my goodness. We saw Hello Africa when the show started, and then morphed into the continent, and then the Absa logo, and there was the wink. And there we see the smiles and people pointing, and obviously the phones out, and people shooting the sky, and the applause, because it is just that amazing. And now we can see again the drones are dancing, and it looks like they're descending to a central point, but they're still dancing in the sky, because the show's not over. This is part of the show. It's part of the experience to see exactly how these drones actually move in formation. Remember, Yatish said that the full show is 8 minutes in terms of ascent and descent included. So this could be the descent as they, oh my goodness, but even though the show may be coming to an end, this is still an important part of the show. How beautiful is this? This really is amazing. 300 drones synchronized, flying across the beautiful Johannesburg sign, a beautiful winter evening. And look at it as we change colors and the drones are descending on the Johannesburg, from the Johannesburg sky and back down to earth. Wow. And as Yatish said, the music is absolutely epic as I believe the French call it the denouement of the story. Now we're coming to the end of the story. Wow, it's beautiful. And look at the hugs. Oh my goodness. That's Maria, the CEO of Absa, and Wendy, the chairman. They are excited. You can see, and obviously very emotional. It's an emotional time, and it's been a lot of work to get to this point, and you can just see the elation and excitement based on what they've seen. The drones, it looks like they're grounded now. It looks like the drones are... Wow, I'm... Yatish said it himself. He says it was going to be iconic, and it was truly iconic, historic, and I can see that the image of the logo over Africa, it's ingrained and it's embellished for a lifetime. Very, very beautiful. Let's get some reaction from people watching here at Absa Towers.
Okay, so what were your impressions of the show that you just saw?
Amazing. This was probably one of those moments, that you actually put in history and you remember as being, a catalyst for great stuff to come. So we're quite excited to have seen the show. I think it brings all our possibilities to life. It shows that we are brave, we are passionate, and we're ready for greater things to come. I think that people at home, our colleagues across the African continent saw this. It's a statement. It's a statement for us that we've arrived. Our competitors have seen us. They know that we're here. So quite excited. Quite good. Yeah, quite excited. Thank you.
Perfect. I've got more impressions from people out here.
Sir?
What do you think of the show?
I think this was absolutely amazing, as it marks this is a historic occasion in our history as Absa Group. And yeah, we're very thrilled. We're excited for this new dawn in our bank, and obviously including the fact that right now Absa is not only going to be a South African brand, it's going to be the same brand across all our African markets, and that's how we bring our customers' possibilities to life, by being brave, passionate, and ready to address the customers' challenges across all our markets, and we make their possibilities come to life, just like we have seen right here. Very exciting and unbelievable display of our brand, symbolizing the new dawn in Africa, of an African franchise that is rooted in our African heritage. We are proud of our heritage, and we are going to change the way banking works in Africa, and we have already started right now with the launching of our WhatsApp banking platform, and that is really mind-blowing and the first of its kind in the South African market. So we are very excited about the possibilities that the new Absa is bringing into Africa, and we're going to see those possibilities come to life. Thank you.
Anytime you have a brand launch, anytime you have any sort of marketing feat, you've got to be relevant and you've got to be exciting. Well, there's no doubt that Absa did both. This was absolutely epic, and certainly it was relevant. A digitally led bank with 300 drones above the Johannesburg skies. That was so amazing. I don't know about you. I couldn't take it all in. Let's have a look again at some of the highlights from the drone show.